Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Last time we have relived the terror. Giant eagle snatching prey from cliff. Prehistoric ostrich charges like a tank. Crocodile ambush from river. And mega hippos guard all comers. These beasts followed our evolution. From eagle dives sparking vigilance to hippos hunts birthing tribes. The Stone Age wasn't safe. It was savage genius. History in motion brings the Palestocentro of life. Now the question is, did human deliver the killing blow? I have already discussed in my previous chapter. If you haven't watched it or if you have missed it, rewatch it now or watch it now. I have put the link in the description box. Feel free to check it out. And now, let's continue our today's topic. I want you to imagine a scene where a flickering torch illuminates carved wall deep in the Pyrenees mountain, 17,000 years ago, depicting a hulking bison charged from the shadow. Its horn curved like scythes, eye glowing with otherworldly fire. But this isn't just prey. It's a god, a spirit, a harbinger of life and death. There are multiple questions which we'll try to uncover in this episode. Few of them like, why did our ancestors pour their soul into painting these beasts? What secret did animal whisper in the first humans? Shaping myth that echoes in today's dream which we have. Welcome to History in Motion, where we journey back to the dawn of belief. I don't know if this happened with you or not, but whenever I look back to Stone Age animals, I always wonder how come these animals are so enormous and large. So to grasp why animals loom so large in Stone Age mind, we must first step into their frozen world. Let's picture the Upper Paleolithic era, from about 50,000 to 10,000 years ago. During this era, Ice Age expanded across Europe, Asia and beyond in a vast of glacier and tundras, where mammoths used to roam vast steppe. Woolly rhinos thundered across plains, and cave lions prowled the fringes of human camps. And then our ancestor, Homo sapiens, fresh from Africa. They weren't apex predator yet, but they were clever scavengers, hunter-gatherer, armed with flint spear and atlatls, who lived in a small band of 50 to 20 souls. Archaeological sites like Lascaux in France and Altamira in Spain pointed this stage vividly, revealing cave plastered with over 600 animal figures like horses, deer, ox, rendered with such precision they seemed ready to leap off the rock. These weren't doodles. Carbon dating pegged them to 40,000 to 15,000 BCE. I know, you must be wondering what this carbon dating is. So let's have some basic ideas about carbon dating. All living things like plants, animals, humans absorb a tiny amount of a special type of carbon called carbon 14 while they are alive. As long as something is alive, it keeps taking in fresh carbon 14 from the air and food. So the level stayed balanced. But when it dies, it stopped taking in carbon. From that moment on, carbon 14 inside it starts slowly disappearing or decaying at a known steady rate. Once we understand what carbon dating is, now the actual question is how scientists use this. Scientists take a small sample like wood, bone or clothes, measure how much carbon 14 is left and compare it with how much should it be there if they were new. Because they know how fast carbon 14 decays, they can work backward to calculate how long ago the living things died. And now, let's come back to our topic. Animals weren't mere food. They were keen, teacher, and tyrant of faith. In this brutal battle of predator and prey, myths emerged not as fairy tales, but as survival manual etched in oak and charcoal. Our story began in the heart of Europe, where the Magdalene culture, the master artist of the Ice Age, who turned cave into mystic galleries. Take Chauvet cave in France as an example, which was discovered in 1994 and dated to 36,000 years old. Here the cave painting shows lion merged with rhino in a whirlwind of motion, their bodies overlapping like dream vision. The question is, why did early hominids painted lion merging with rhinos? What did they symbolize? Anthropologists who suggest and who study all aspects of human past and present, exploring human origin, culture, societies, suggest this symbolizes raw power. They have successfully tried to understand their hierarchy, culture, belief, and rituals. They wore skin during special ceremonies. Picture a healer with a red clay earth painted on his face. He's moving and dancing around a cave fire. He's calling on the spirit of the lion for help. He's asking the lion to give courage and strength to scare hunters. Those hunters are about to hunt huge mammoths, so they are afraid. Now, here comes the horses, the fleet-footed icon of Lascaux Hall of Bull. Over 300 horses gallop across its wall. The long hair was blowing smoothly and powerfully in the wind, like moving water in a river. These weren't random. Horses provide meats, hides, milk during harsh winter. But myths evolved them to psychopomps, which means that people believed they could lend spirit from this world to the next. Grave from Sungir, Russia, holds horses' bone mingled with human remains, suggesting people believe horse spirit helped carry the dead to a heavenly afterlife among the stars. Storytellers around campfire wove tales of horse spirit racing across the sky, pulling the moon like a chariot. Echoes that wander later birthed Pegasus in Greek lore. Among all the other animals, none capture human attention like the oryxes. They were wild cattle, ancestor of modern cow, standing 6 feet at the shoulder with horn like battering ram. It is believed that Göbekli Tepe in Turkey was the world's first temple, which is built around 11,600 years ago, which is standing on the oryx's pillar towering 20 feet high and carved with snarling lions and foxes. The Neolithic age brought a change in belief. Animals were no longer a creature. They were symbol of fertility and belonging. Groups tattooed oryx symbol onto their skin, believing the bull's strength would flow through them during the hunt. Anthropologists studies these ancient carvings in Valcamonica, Italy, capturing human-facing oryxes in ritual combat, a deadly dance that scholars believe marked shaman initiation, where surviving the charm was taken as a blessing from the gods. Venturing east to Siberia, we encountered the Shiger idol, an 11,000-year-old wooden totem, discovered in 1890, where bear rise as a cosmic guidance. Once standing nearly 17 feet tall, this towering relic is carved with deep claws and sharp fangs. People started worshipping bear as a ritual and is spread across Eurasia. In Finland, Kalevala epic, rooted in Stone Age oral tradition, bear were seen as king of forest. Their long winter sleep mirroring human death and rebirth. In Romanian cave, archaeologists have found bear skulls arranged in circle, some even worn as helmets. These were not hunting trophy, they were gateways. Shamans entered trances believing they become the bear itself, battling spirits and returning with vision of the future. Haunting discovery came from the Willendorf, Austria, a Gravitian Venus figure in clustering bear paws, melding mother, goddess and animal power, symbolizing fertility and the abundance of the earth. Across the Atlantic in North America, Clovis culture around 13,000 years ago, megafauna ruled myths. Mammoths with tusk carving like crescent moon appeared in Eastbourne from Blackwater drawn in New Mexico. The animals weren't just painted, they were sung. Oral tradition preserved by indigenous people describe mammoth spirits guarding water holes, demanding respect lest they unleash blizzards. In Australia, 40,000-year-old rock at Kakadu depicts rainbow serpents, entwined with giant kangaroos. The Dreamtime eternal canvas where animals dreamt the world into being. This thematical thread, power, guidance, rebirth weave a tapestry, animals as bridge to the unseen. Their forms channeling the chaos of an ice age world into stories that bond clans together. But hold on, let's go to the most interesting part of this story. Yes, you guessed it right. Let's look at some of the surprising facts and myths. As Stone Age mythology brims with jaw-dropping twists that shatter our modern lens. Let's see them one by one. Fact 1. The sorcerer of Les Torres Ferris, cave witches in France, isn't a human. It's a hybrid, part man, part stag, part owl, dated to 13,000 BCE. As per anthropologist Mercy Elady, this bird-man stag wasn't fantasy, but it was a costume. Wore in static rites, where shamans shift the shape to negotiate with animals' lord. Imagine the terror. A figure half human, anthers scraping the ceiling, calling thunder from all wings. But the reality, as early 20th century theorists claimed that those cave paintings weren't hunt magic to ensure kills. Isotope analysis of animal bones shows overhunting was rare. Instead, art culture during famines suggesting propitiation, offering to appease the spirit. Fact number 2. In Altamira chaos chamber in 14,000 years old bison leap from a fissure, perfectly bisecting a crack. Locals believe the cave itself birthed the beast. But as per modern scientists can reveal, deliberate placement a mythic worm of the wild. If we dive deeper, we'll get to know about the Lion Man of Hollingstenstedel, which is in Germany, a 40,000-year-old ivory statue, 12-inch tall, lion-headed human. It's Europe's oldest zoomorph, predating the pyramids by 35,000 years. DNA links its maker to early Europeans. The question is, was it a deity? Nearby fox teeth necklace hint at trickster myth, much like the coyote in native lore. And get this, in Bamboo Cave in South Africa, 77,000-year-old arch peleg bear cross-hatched zoomorph, proto-animals suggesting Africa rooted to global beast cults. These weren't primitive. They were cosmic artists, turning terror into totems. And now, let us try to understand how did animal myth propel human evolution. Cognitively, they turbocharge our brain. Anthropologists like David Lewis and William argue cave art reflecting Samic visions, LSD-like trance, from fasting or chance activating the temporal lobes, as seen in modern brain scan. This neurology fosters abstract thinking, turning survival grunts into epics, birthing language poetry. Animals did not just inspire belief, they shaped society. Totem and clan taboo, like declaring we are elk people, bond community together and quietly prevented interbreed, a pattern which modern genetic study now revealed. A 2023 Nature paper on Iberian hunting gathering shows horse worshipping groups intermingled genes widely, boosting resilience. Evolution shaped their stories by turning predators into spirits. Humans learned caution, empathy, and foresight, qualities that may have set Homo sapiens apart from Neanderthals, who left behind little symbolic art. As time moved on, these ancient seeds grew into civilization. Anubis the jackal watched over Egyptian tombs. Garuda the eagle carried Vishnu in Hindu lore. Fenrir the wolf tore through Norse destiny. And even today, your dog's loyalty carries an echo of Stone Age friendship. Animals did not merely haunt our myth, they helped make us human, lifting us from dark cave to distant stars. And now at the end, from Chauvet charging lion to Gobekal towering orc, the Stone Age animals weren't backdrop. They were the divine script of human dawn. They taught us awe amid ice, kinship in kill or be killed wild, forging myths that lit our path from beast to believer. In their eye we saw gods, in their roar our stories. Thanks for joining History in Motion on this primal quest. Hit like, subscribe and ring the bell for more from the Stone Age to Silicon Age. So next time when we meet, we'll discuss on the African Stone Age, the birthplace of humanity. Until then, keep questioning history.